I've not felt 100%. I didn't have the time to kind of rush together everything for the European League to actually start tonight. So I moved the first 2 days of European League to next week instead. And we will just run this invitational today because I still have to do this sponsorship today. And if you ask me, we got a pretty good group of players for bit of sponsored content. We got ByuN, Reynor, Clem, and MaxPax 4-player group. Should be a bunch of fun. Looking forward to some very cool games as we get on into it. In the bottom right side, our blue Zerg is Reynor. As in the top left, our red Terran is going to be ByuN. So yeah, that's what's going on. Like I said, I've been a little bit sick. So it took some days. Honestly, I have not been that bad. I've been pretty much... I mean, Helen's been wiped out for like a week or so. I've been going a whole lot better than that. So it's definitely been a pretty major positive on my side. I'm pretty okay about this. As yeah, we get ready to rumble and do some games. I've got Ellie who's harassing me right now. Sorry guys, hang on. Ellie is what do you want? Hey, what do you want? Tell me what you want or I'm gonna attack you. Yeah, there you go. I didn't think so. Right, I've got to cast, baby. I've got to work. Yeah, you walk away. Alright, cool. So, yeah, what was I saying? I don't know what we were saying. But TLDR, we're going to be here doing some StarCraft 2 today. So, a couple of Reapers on the way out. Orbital coming through, and we get ourselves settled down for the first few moments of this opening game. Reapers, I can say, on the way up already, getting that up and rolling. And we'll see where and how we are going to be doing things as the Reaper of ByuN will begin to head out down to the bottom right-hand side. A couple of Queens and a couple of drones are coming out as well here from Reynor. Again, the Reaper on the way, the reactor building, the SCV being added on as well. Just a little bit of everything coming through for these early stages while we get set up into this opening game. Like I say, it is obviously a very fun group and some great players. And hope for some really fun games across the course of, again, what is just going to be best of 3s, and then the final will be best of 5, but with a 1-0 lead for the winner bracket player. So 6 matches in total. We're not looking to waste time. We're looking to go nice and speedily. Like I say, build some viewership up ahead of our sponsorship, with Tempest rising a bit further down the line. So again, that's just everything that is going on today. I don't think I've got anything else to really keep on adding, apart from actually let's watch and see where this game goes to. So let's do exactly that as we have ourselves the Reapers. Trying to jump in. Obviously, this was multi-rack Reapers to start with, but not super crazy on the numbers. So just a couple of Reapers here early. And in fact, we actually only built 2 Reapers and then straight into Marine. So very quick into the Marine phase of this game. A 3rd barracks behind this as well. Now, the few Marines here will come up this high ground and get rid of this Overlord that Reynor has sitting in the main base for the next few moments. We'll be seeing the Overlord going down. And again, a few more Marines and Stim coming up. Ooh, Reynor, the double Rotron. So I can only... Well, this one's kind of built as though it's hidden away as well. So I'm not sure what his plan is. That feels like a mistake. This feels as though, like, if it was at the front, it was like, hey, I'm only just building a Rotron now. I'd be like, ooh, the sneakiness of it all. But he actually has a Rotron and he's building another one in, like, a back position, which obviously does seem as though it's probably just going to be a mistake. So, yeah, that's a little bit unfortunate. Is he going to realize it at all? So far, the answer is no. He is not going to realize it just yet, as the Rotron will finish in the next few moments. A few Zerglings going to keep on tackling their way through. He realizes it now, and as soon as he realizes, he's like, oh, I've already got the Rotron. He actually does start up some Roaches, 10 of them, so he could have built those sooner, although he still was mining the gas. That would have given him a lot of the mining for this, so... Yes, he could have started sooner, but not this many, so... I mean, it's going to be interesting, because this was clearly not quite intended to be the way that's currently going for Reynor. But yeah, he is going to get aggressive. Now, it's a lot of Marines. I'm not sure a Roach attack is necessarily going to be all that successful against someone who's got this many Marines this early. Like, this is not going to overwhelm at all, but maybe it's not about an attack from Reynor at all. Maybe it's about him defending against the fact that this is a lot of Marines. We will see very shortly how this is going to pan out, as a few Marines right now make their way to the right side. They are going to get the Overlord. And Reynor, knowing this, is actually going to try and greet these units on the map, with Roaches coming around from one side, and the Lings are ready to fight from the other. Marines are going to stim into those Roaches, though, and I don't think Reynor, like I say, was really expecting it to be this amount of Marines this early in the game. GG. That's just going to go completely wrong, as this build from ByuN is going to catch Reynor off guard, and not quite prepped, as we are going to have in the bottom left-hand side the red Terran player. This is going to be taking the 1-0 lead with that cheeky little build, honestly. It was a little bit cheeky. It is going to be our Red Terran player, ByuN. Up against the Blue Zerg in the top right corner of the map, we have got Reynor. So, game 2 of the series as we get this underway and started up. An Overlord on the way out and get started in. An SCV and a depot. Nothing too crazy, just building right now. The Overlord heading down to the bottom left-hand side. And going to take position in the next few moments as it gets readied up and settled to play. Hatchery and the drone coming by as well. Just going to see that SCV still producing through from ByuN, and we'll get a couple more of those coming about and across for the next few moments. So yeah, Overlord is making its way down to the bottom left. The CC and the SCV on the way up as well, bringing all of that through. Again, the hatchery and the gas building, but nothing really too much to talk about just yet. We are obviously just in the very first building stages, and it is command center first from ByuN, which means that he's going to be a little bit less active on the map. There will not be a super early Reaper or anything, which means that there's not going to be really much to follow for the first couple minutes then, because CC first is going to go unpunished. We do not have a pool first, which actually wouldn't have been good against the CC first anyway. Going to go 2 barracks behind us, which is not the most common way to follow up a CC first nowadays. Nowadays, command center first is generally followed by just, racks double gas. But this was kind of the more old school way of kind of going into CC first. Well, it actually used to be kind of like racks. This was racks gas racks. But yeah, way back when, we used to CC first in a double racks all the time, just because you wanted the extra units to start coming out. You didn't know what else to do with those minerals. Nowadays, people have figured out a lot of different ways to go for the CC first opening, a lot of different ways to follow up and to set up and so on and so forth. So it's going to be seen our Marine count continuing to grow. As, yeah, I would not be surprised if ByuN is just going to try and stick to something aggressive and bio-focused once again here, as the Tech Lab and Reactor come down. So, yeah, I mean, CC first is a good economy booster, but with 2 racks on the way, you're definitely looking towards something a bit more like, hey, let's get aggro more than anything else in the next, little bit. Like, say, you're going to have a lot more unit production than you are kind of saving up for third base or anything along those lines. So, definitely a couple of things to think on as we continue through with that. Link Speed Queen drone all producing a couple of SCVs, the factory and the stim pack will be building as well. The reactor just finishing up on the barracks, and we have a couple more SCVs still building their way through. A couple of the SCVs going to get nibbled at on the low ground, so the Lings continue to get damage done there. Finding a few shots already. The Marines step over, Lings take shots, and get pushed back the other direction as the factory is about to finish. Again, Link Speed Queen continue to come through as well as our hatchery comes online. Those Lings step away to the upper right-hand side, and we just have, again, the Overlords stepping toward the middle. Extra drones on the way, the Overlord and Link Speed building up as well. Starport will be finishing, and we'll get ourselves ready for this 2-1-1 setup to hit, connect, and try and make some damage happen. That is going to be the plan here from ByuN. And then, of course, we'll see what the follow-up is from there. Do we see a third CC eventually coming down, or does he somehow stick this to just continue to be 2-base aggression? The depot's on the way up at the front, so we begin to wall off as well, prepare ourselves against any potential counterattacks. Reynor, when he's been playing recently, has been playing quickly, he's been playing ferociously, he's definitely been having a lot of Lings on the map, being playing all around and looking for the openings to counter with, so preparations against that is definitely going to be necessary here, because you know for a fact that ByuN is not wanting to deal with those Lings sneaking into mineral lines and having to deal with that while also trying to push on the map and deal damage. Because it's 100% one of the ways in which Reynor is just going to try and completely undo a lot of what ByuN would like to get set up for. Marines gathering as the engineering bay finishes up on the wall off as well. A couple of medevacs and the Marines continue to build evolution chambers coming up. Overlords, Lings, Queen getting going as a couple of drones just nibbling about. Lings continue to gather, and we see a few of them already jumping in toward this set of rocks over here. So rocks already taking a few shots. Queen's pulling back over. The Marines are going to arrive. Obviously, against a 2-on-1, you typically just need to have the right amount of, units. And so cutting drones at the correct time is typically kind of the main way to look at this. The big question here is obviously this was CC first into 2-1-1, so, you know, I'm not sure what the exact number is that you should cut at, but this seems comfortable from Reynor, and at 55 drones, if he gets away with this, then that's a great position. His economy is definitely looking strong. There's Lings in the main. That drop will not be able to unload here successfully, so that will still not do much of anything. And Reynor, with a good shutdown and pushback on ByuN's initial attack, is going to be able to stop this from getting to be any sort of seriousness in the early stages. Queen stepping over, Medevac's taking damage. Quiet Medevac still getting pushed away to the side. +1 on combat shield coming through. Marines in the tank added up as well. Our Lings and our melee upgrades still building. The Baneling Nest also coming down. We do see our Zerglings moving about in the main base. As yeah, another hatchery or two coming in. So it's going to be a 4th and 5th hatch at the same time. Reynor feeling confident and comfortable with where he's at right now. But he is playing against a Terran player who is adding on more barracks and who is not looking to play the macro game that Reynor is almost setting up for. Reynor's going to counterattack to a third base that has nothing there, to a natural that is going to be, well, defended by units and a wall off. Reynor needs to kind of get some defense going right now. Tanks are taking position. He did not finish off these rocks, so he doesn't actually have the flanking potential from this other direction. The Lings do come in from the other side, though, and there's a good chance they get rid of a siege tank there, which is nice. Any tank you get rid of is going to be a slowdown on this army of ByuN from getting into that super powerful position. The more splash damage, the more tanks there are, the better off you're going to be feeling here as ByuN. The more you can really bully a position and lock it down. Now we're going to see Reynor coming in from two angles once again. Mostly just Lings. The few Banelings are still slow. That Baneling speed not done yet. But nor is the combat shield for those Marines. And remember, this is a 2-base push out of ByuN. Losing units already is going to really slow his momentum. Don't get me wrong, his army supply right now is still good. But this is definitely already a stopper here from Reynor, and he's going to have Baneling speed for the next time they fight, most likely. He's got a Carapace upgrade advantage as well. It is looking good for Reynor to make a defense on this. Like, don't get me wrong, yeah, army supplies are even, but all you have to do as Reynor is hold on because of the fact that your opponent is so committed. Lings forcing a lift off on the reinforcements too, so they're just not going to be able to roll across as easily as they were before. I love the split on the Banes as well, just letting a few of them roll toward the Marines so the tanks don't just grab a whole bunch. We are going to get a second siege tank there. That was the one that lifted up, of course. But that's the thing. It's only ever been like 2 siege tanks. The splash damage available has not really been huge. Reynor can easily give up this base. This is one of the bases he double expanded to, so 4th and 5th at the same time means that he can give up this one and still have a base on the top. And that's exactly what he will do, because that was a bit greedy. It's 100% one of the easiest things for you to give up in this scenario, because you just don't need it to be in a successful position in the slightest right now. Lings and Banes roll out to that far left side, so they're going to gather over there as the potential to push down continues. Marines and tanks still gathering up. Marines step over to the right side. A couple of creep teamers going down. Ling Bane still making their way out down to the bottom. Marines moving through. Just going to be seeing the Queen going to be there. Medevac's lifting off, pulling back. Just going to be seeing the +2 attack. +1 armor continuing through the other Marines. Unloading once again as the couple of tanks will be unsieging. We have the Ling Bane still pressing forward. Looking to play the wraparound here on the rest of this Marine tank army. So looking to get this going. As you do see a few drones going down as well. So an opportunity in the back of the double Liberator going to be a distraction. We are stacked in a corner right here. We have to lift up. And, well, we are able to lift up. There's units in the main base, though, so the unload here will not do much at all. And ByuN is just absolutely covered. The Liberators are annoying, and that is the one thing that ByuN really has working for him at the moment. Everything else is kind of being shut down and handled by Reynor very aptly. A little bit of a lack of creep spread in this main to natural, which is slowing down the process of removing these Liberators, which have denied a lot of mining, to be fair. And that actually is a problem for Reynor. Like, he has lost quite a lot of time mining. And so, yeah, I would say that that's an issue. Economies are still very similar work accounts. It's a 2-base scenario for ByuN until very soon when he's about to drop this 3rd base down. That's the first time he's stepping away from 2 bases. Double Medevac on the left will be gathering. I mean, obviously, as the game spreads out a little bit from Reynor, the game can spread out a bit from ByuN. He can try and make more happen with that, but it just feels like Reynor is in such a comfortable position now. He's soon going to be 2-2 against, yeah, maybe 2-1. The +2 attack upgrade being pretty far along from ByuN, but no second engineering bay in operation. As the drop there gets intercepted, so it gets a couple of shots on the hatchery, some damage done, but doesn't do too much. However, the dive in the main base is going to find the spawning pool, so that's a pretty big deal. We do transfuse it back up, though. The queens were there, and so we will not get the kill. Spawning pool survives, and Reynor continuing his tech up into the infestation pit. Also had Lings over here trying to make a fight during that, as ByuN trying to find the opportunity, trying to find the opening in that moment, but is not quite able to just yet. Now a few Marines coming down the other side and looking to try and maybe make their way around in the next little bit. Those Lings and Banes jumping toward the Marines. On the right side, a little bit of Ling Bane crashing into a few Marines as well, so we're just going to grab that. The extra Lings coming through, +3 attack, +2 armor. Marine Marauder Medevac Mine continuing to produce the rest of that Ling Bane, still settling in on the top of the map for the moment. Ling Bane crashes through. The Medevacs have to lift off. A little bit more bio through the center once again, as we continue to see ByuN making a bit of progress out to the upper right-hand side. So, continue to journey over as we get rid of one more Zergling. There's a couple of Banes burrowed up right there as well. Need to be careful. Burrowed Bane's going to be very deadly, and that is an opportunity from Reynor. Just turned. Walking up the right-hand side there. Oh, there's even more Banelings here. Oh, the pre-split from ByuN. I don't think that's because of Burrowed Banes, though. And they will still get to connect. Kaboom! And the Burrowed Banelings connect already. And ByuN going to lose a few of his Marines there. Maybe not the biggest of connections, but it didn't need to be, really. As it's just going to get rid of the Marines, and the Marauders can't really fare well against those Zerglings that then swarm them afterward. The DPS just isn't there any longer. Top left, this unload will happen once more, and that's the one thing that ByuN is still working on, because this drop is absolutely having to pick up and just evacuate. And, okay, ByuN got to a third base, but it does feel like Reynor is in pretty much complete and total control of this game. Lurk-Den on the way up. Hive is done, so we can start those upgrades on the Lurk-Den as soon as it's ready. Reynor has pushed himself into an extremely comfortable position in the opening moments of this game, too. I say opening moments, it's 12.5 minutes deep. It's been a bit of a longer game, but he has been able to bring it back a little bit, step himself into a more comfortable position here as the Ling Bane continues to crash on forward. A Widowmine shot trying to connect. There's still the Burrowed Banelings in the back. If he kite back far enough into those, that could have been a connection as well, but Reynor did not manage to keep the chase going for that long. A couple of scans here, and the actual Burrowed infested that right side. Going to be seen as well. It just about gets away. We'll rescan that, ByuN recognizing the need for it, but he is kiting back into an infester, into Banelings as well, potentially. So, I mean, there's just ways for Reynor to clean up around. However, he's lost 9 drones again. The Liberator actually having once again a good time. And Reynor not going to have too much money in the bank. He's going to drop down on supply. So this sequence of events was not as effective for Reynor as it seemed. And ByuN, I mean, my concern for ByuN now, I suppose, is that this turned from like a 2-base all-in to like very committed in 3 bases. However, there's also a 4th CC that's going to move out. So a good moment from ByuN. He's going to stay maxed out. Reynor will get maxed out again. I think the issue now for ByuN is that his tech is not really there to deal with the Lurkers as they come online. We've got some Liberators building, but realistically, we're talking about needing Ghosts right now. We're not talking about needing Liberators. Liberators can be a nice transition to help deal with the Lurkers at first, but realistically, we need to start seeing Ghosts. And the 15-20 army supply we're down here is Reynor. Are we worried about that? I mean, yeah, it's scary a little bit, but with Lurkers out, I don't think we should be able to break through. And that's a massive fungal from the other side. It's going to double down. And Reynor is going to get a huge pushback, including a bunch of the Medevacs low HP getting shot away at. Everything bar 2 empty Medevacs taken out right there. On the left-hand side, this drop is not going anywhere either. And that was a massive plummeting supply here for ByuN as Reynor makes short work and cleans up with comfort in that game. Well, in this game number 2, and I think he is back on track to just having complete comfort in this. There's a bit of an odd fight in the middle for him. But yeah, it really does feel as though we're back on the right direction now. As the Ling Bane Hydra Lurker gathering up, a couple of ByuN units there, going to fire away, turn the other units around. Couple shots coming through, just going to be seeing the Lings camping on that mineral line. SCV's going down. We're just going to see the rest of the Hydras coming about. Lurkers are firing. I mean, 12 SCVs down, the 3rd base having to lift off. We've just recently kind of established the 4th base, so it's not like we've got a ton of money or banked up kind of cash here for ByuN. He's going to have to deal with this ASAP, and like I say, I don't really know if there's a way for him to really deal with the Lurkers effectively at this stage when they're pushing on into him. Reliance and Liberators, well, he only has 2 of those, so it's not like they're a kind of magical solution, even if they were kind of the best you could have. No ghost, limited amount of liberators, and this is looking like trouble here for our Terran players. It looks as though Reynor might be good to bring us to a Game 3, the fungal growth to cap it off. And we will indeed be going to Game 3 of our opening series. In the left-hand side, we are going to have ourselves the Blue Zerg player, bringing it back to a 1-1 scoreline. It is Reynor, and he battles against the Red Terran. In the top right-hand corner, we have got ByuN. Alright, Game 3 of the series. Let's see what our plan may be. Ley lines, fun map. Maybe some macro mixed in there. Obviously, very aggressive games from ByuN so far. That game 2 was absolutely like a 2-base commitment, then a 3-base commitment. Catch gas and spawn and pool all going down. Just going to be seeing the CC and the barracks coming online. SCV getting added up as well. We keep bringing that over as the Overlord heads toward the upper right-hand side and toward the natural, and so very soon. Just information gathering, not much else to say. It's command center first again from ByuN. This game he does go Rax double gas. We mentioned about all the possibilities of what you can do off a CC first. This is just going to be a variation of that already. But you're now going to see, instead of multiple racks coming down super quickly, this is going to be a bit more focused on just getting the gas down and getting into that more standard factory. Most likely a couple of Hellions get onto the map for some map control. Just a very different way of establishing yourself in this game, considering the fact that, game number, 2 has been a CC first and went very differently as well, so just mixing it up. ByuN is very good at this, kind of taking a build and kind of doing something similar but then very different. He's really a very creative player when it comes to builds and mixing up his strategies. He's had his moments where just, multi-racks Reaper has been his thing and so on, but there's always been that kind of variation in there. There's never been like the one direct, like this is the singular build order we use. Even if he's using, a similar build, there's oftentimes different strands from it that kind of differentiate it and really make the play from ByuN very varied, very a lot of variety as well. Factoring in a couple of SCVs. They'll build on through the hatchery coming up onto the third base, and we do have Overlord still spreading out just defensively, keeping an eye on things. This time it is straight to the triple CC, so ByuN is not messing around. He's just going to play the economy game. Factory going to be able to move on over to the reactor soon. I mean, the reactor's not ready yet. We built a couple of Marines first, so yep, but he's ready to drop that down, so 100% just going to get some Hellions out and play from there in the early stages. So 2 Hellions start. The barracks going to commit onto the right-hand side. You'll see the hatchery coming down into the front, into that triangle. So 3 bases coming through. Extra Hellions still building. The Marines are gathering. And our command center in the main. Whoa! Double factory in production. Okay, we're going to play a mech game 3. Not surprising me at all if this caught Reynor off guard, because this is not expected. And it's 100%, I mean, he's hiding it well. He's making this look standard and typical, like, oh, I'm just building Hellions. Oh, my third CC's just over here, ready to float out. All the easily found information makes this seem typical. All the hidden information, those factories right on the back, are going to be the real kind of like, oof, can you deal with mech when you don't really know it's coming? And, and that's what's going to be, the question really asked here for Reynor, because A, can he figure out it's coming? Honestly, very likely that he just doesn't. And B, can he then adapt on time once you do potentially figure it out at a later point? Sorry if I mute up, guys. I still have a lingering cough. So, if I just mute up out of somewhere, if I rush to finish a sentence today, it's just me trying to not blast your ears off with a cough or something. So apologies. It's going to be the most I've talked in a few days, obviously, as well, so not sure how well it'll go. Hopefully not too badly, as we do have a couple Hellions Making their way out toward that left-hand side, we've got the Magfield Accelerator coming through, so we can begin the Cyclone production. The Cyclones are on their way. And Finland Pre-Ignited coming online as well. And so we are just going to head into the Battle Mech. Now, Reynor, Carapace is upgrading into the Rotron, so he's actually making some good calls here initially. He did see gases on the natural. I wonder if that's been enough to tell him about the possibility maybe of, potentially some mech. I'm not sure what time he actually saw the gases on the natural at, so yes, we will see. Couple depots going down. Again, we are going to see the lair building up, the armory building in the back from ByuN. Infernal Pre-Igniter, Magfield Accelerator continue to come over. Cyclones and Hellions still building. And melee upgrade will start as well. Carapace still coming over. Just going to be seeing the lair about to finish. And that's a lot of units. Hellions and Cyclones combined moving into the middle of the map. It's just getting set out into the center here. A couple of hatches still coming online. Factory and refineries coming up. The Hellions are going to come through. Overlords going to get taken down as well by the Cyclones. The Queens and the Lings going to set up also. Melee upgrade coming by. Infernal Pre-Ignite is still fighting. That's a massive wraparound with the Zerglings. Wow, that's actually a very effective wraparound. He's going to remove the majority of this army. Can we get both the Cyclones at the end here? Be great just to finish the Cyclones off the units that cost a little bit extra. It is expensive for Reynor though. That was a lot of his Zerglings. He will be able to start building roaches in the back of this. He actually has a lot of money kind of floating right now. He's a little bit lava-starved, Reynor, so that might be a problem, especially if he's got to deal with another wave of this army sometime soon. He's missing the lava. He might not be in kind of the numbers that he needs, so definitely a possible problem that's looming at the moment in the near future. Aliens morphing into Hellbats. The roaches are on their way, so like I said, we have access to those. Reynor really didn't seem to kind of truly know about this until a little bit too recently, huh? The roaches, their problem is obviously going to be the Cyclones, and their ability to lock on and kite those roaches means that the roaches are not always going to be able to stick around and kind of do their absolute utmost here, so that will likely be a problem as well as the Cyclones pull back away to the side. Hellion Cyclones still pulling back through. The Cyclones will get there. The Overlord going down. The rest of the Hellions gathering back together. As you just see the Hive and the Baling Nest coming through as well. Lynx trying to chase. Hellion and the Cyclone coming back through. The rest of the Hellions coming back over as well. And more drones, more Zerglings coming over. Just going to be seeing the Hellion Cyclone coming through as well. Locking on, getting quite a bit of damage done with that. A lot more of those Zerglings getting cleaned out. The Roaches still trying to cut the distance and jump on top of those Cyclones still. You see some of the Cyclones going to come back through, get their lock-ons again. Roach is still taking a bunch of damage, but if you can get back up to that high ground and cancel some of those lock-ons, there is benefit to it. Reynor just playing a Roachling for the moment and just continue to crank that out in numbers to try and compete with the Cyclone count, which is growing currently 6 at a time in the production tab. Reynor going to take a little bit of a chance to dive forward onto this, and he does get rid of a couple of the Cyclones there already. So, getting a little bit of damage done early. A few Cyclones getting some lock-ons for some Zerglings too. Seeing the creep team at the front going down, a bit more of the Roachling still getting tackled. Just for those early stages. Let's see vehicle plating coming up. Cyclones, Hellions, Armory, all building through. The rest of the Cyclones and the Hellions coming back over as well. Just got that refinery finishing up on the front. There's a rich Vespene as you take the forward base. shouldn't be difficult to hold onto with a mech army that's looking to constantly be aggressive anyway. You're going to have presence on the map pretty much. You know, if you don't have a presence on the map, you've got bigger things or bigger issues than your fourth base, right? Because it means your army's had trouble. Cyclones, just going to step forward. The Roach is going to be taking damage again. We're just going to be seeing the Cyclones coming back over. The Hellions, they got chased a little bit as well. Cyclones, Hellions continue to go down. So the Lings at the back finding a reasonable little surround for themselves. Trying to make themselves as useful as possible without running into the masses of Hellions that are in the main army. Got a couple of Infestors on the way up. They're important because if you can get some Fungals down, you can stop the ability of kiting away with this force. And that obviously takes a lot of the value away from the Battle Mech army. So that's one of the things you want to try and achieve. Hellions wolfing into Hellbats. You realize that the Ling wraparound is coming. And we are going to try and stop this army from getting away. So the Hellbat's going to try and trade as best they can against these Zerglings. As Reynor feels he needs to commit in right now. His supply has been going the wrong direction though. And ByuN is going to find a win to catapult him into the winner's match today to take on the winner of Clem.